Welcome, everyone. Please be seated. Good evening, everyone, and what a beautiful evening it is here in California. To all the graduates, proud parents and families, distinguished faculty and staff, and friends of this School of Information, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the University of California, Berkeley School of Information commencement ceremony. My name is Eric Meyer, and I'm the Dean of the School of Information. I'm honored to celebrate this momentous occasion with all of you today. The School of Information's history extends back to 1918. We've had a variety of different names for the school and names of our degrees over that time. And today we celebrate a new cohort of graduates who will carry on a long tradition of Berkeley-educated information professionals who will change the world in big and small ways. Before we begin this event, I'd like to explain some general ground rules so that everyone can fully enjoy the program. In the spirit of the Berkeley Principles of Community, I request you please silence your cell phones, stay in your seats, and keep the aisles clear. For this event specifically, our time, place, and manner policies apply. Individuals who engage in any action that disrupts the event or prevents the speakers from being heard may be asked to leave, and nobody wants that. On this day of celebration, I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge that the university sits on indigenous land. UC Berkeley sits on the territory of the Huichin, the ancestral unceded land of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. Consistent with our values, we have a responsibility to acknowledge and make visible the university's relationship to Native peoples. As we honor the students who have worked so hard for this moment, we also recognize the Ohlone people and other indigenous communities who are alive and flourishing members of the Berkeley and broader Bay Area communities with a rich heritage and cultural traditions also worth celebrating. I'd also like to recognize all of the School of Information faculty and staff, many of whom are here today, both on the stage and behind the scenes, who've helped our graduates reach this milestone in their lives and careers. A great university only becomes great and maintains that greatness with excellent faculty and staff, and we are fortunate to have both in strong supply. Please join me in recognizing their hard work and dedication with a round of applause. To all the friends and family participating in graduation, thank you for supporting your graduate, not only today, but across their entire educational journey. Their success today is shared with you. Can we have a round of applause for all the friends and family who are here today or watching online? And to the stars of today's event, our graduates, congratulations on reaching this extraordinary milestone. Today marks the culmination of years of dedication, hard work, and intellectual exploration. Hopefully now you can stop having that recurring dream about being in a final presentation or exam for a class you never attended and don't know anything about. But seriously, today we celebrate the achievements of our graduates across the Master of Information Management and Systems, the Master of Information and Cybersecurity, the Master of Information and Data Science, and the PhD in Information Science. I want to share a tiny bit of history and context to help understand a bit more about all these outfits you see us wearing. You might have heard the phrase town and gown to describe relationships between colleges and universities and the broader communities where they're located. The phrase originates from the Middle Ages and was literal. When the first European universities were established, students and scholars wore gowns and hoods that signified their status, kind of like a 12th century version of Harry Potter. But they also served to keep scholars warm in drafty libraries and workspaces. When I worked in the UK, my office was in a building from the 1600s, and I can personally attest to the inadequate central heating in many of the very oldest buildings. Today, however, the colors and gowns of the gowns and hoods represent the university where the degree was earned, and the contrasting colors in the piping and hood represent the discipline. Hence, the many colors you see represented among the faculty at our interdisciplinary school, recruited from universities all over the world and from many scholarly fields. Our first honorees in a little while will be the doctoral graduates who are being hooded. In other words, awarded the hood to show the others that they hold a Berkeley PhD and that PhD is in information. So join me in thanking all of our wonderfully interdisciplinary faculty. Today, all of you, our graduates, join a long and proud history of scholarship. Some people might look at a time like this and think that their time at Berkeley is coming to an end. But this is a commencement, literally a beginning, to commence onto the next stage in your life, wherever that takes you. You're not leaving us. You're taking Berkeley and the iSchool with you. Berkeley is not great because of our beautiful campus. We definitely have a beautiful campus, but many other places in the world are also beautiful. Berkeley's not great because of our buildings. Even though South Hall is the oldest building in the University of California, there are arguably more architecturally significant buildings in the world. Berkeley is great because of our people, the students, faculty, staff, and alumni who carry Berkeley knowledge, experience, passion, commitment, values, and memories with them every day of their lives. UC Berkeley without people is meaningless. At the UC Berkeley School of Information, we're a global bellwether in a world awash in information and data, boldly leading the way with education and fundamental research that translates into new knowledge, practices, policies, and solutions. Graduates, as alumni of the school, you advance our vision in the world at large. You are graduating from one of the world's great universities, and you should be enormously proud of your accomplishments. You take on the role of bellwether, leader in your respective areas, considering the human impact of information in a rapidly evolving digital world. You understand that information has consequences, that people must be involved from the start, and that information can be fun. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, Arthi Prabhakar. Dr. Prabhakar has worked on advancing public interest technology for over 4 decades. Most recently, she served as Science and Technology Advisor to President Biden. That included advice to the President on improving health outcomes, overcoming the climate crisis, and making pivotal choices about artificial intelligence. She simultaneously served as the Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy and as a member of the President's Cabinet. Previously, she served as Director of 2 different government agencies, DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. She's a renowned engineer working in industry and venture capital and founding a nonprofit. I've had the opportunity to get to know Arthi this year as she joined a distinguished group of policy experts in the inaugural cohort of the UC Berkeley Executive Fellows in Applied Technology Policy, which is a joint project of the School of Information and the Goldman School of Public Policy. Her monumental impact at the intersection of technology, policy, and public service can serve as an inspiration to us all. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Prabhakar.
Thank you so much, Dean Meyer. And hello, graduates. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. Hello, family and friends. Hello, faculty and staff. What an honor for me to get to do this with you. Graduates, I am looking at you. I've been watching you today on campus. I've seen a lot of smiles. I've seen some styles, pretty fun to watch. Mostly what I am seeing is a bunch of graduates with stars in your eyes, and you have earned those stars from all this work that you've put in, the dedication and the effort over these years to earn these degrees. And I hope you take a moment to really enjoy that. And I'm telling you, I look around you, and what I see everywhere here are people whom you have made proud. And I am one of those people. I couldn't be prouder of the work that you have done, and I cannot wait to see what you are going to do in the time that's ahead. And what a time it is. What a time we're in. How often have you heard someone say, I just want to live in precedented times? Well, okay, I'm here to tell you, here's the thing. We do not get to live in precedented times. Our time is one of change and tumult. It's a time that's testing us, but it's actually also a time that's calling us to a better future. And as the new graduates of the Berkeley School of Information, you are particularly poised to meet this moment. For each of you, the path that you've chosen is going to prove to be particularly essential in this moment. And tonight what I want to do is share with you 3 messages about this moment in history. Here we go. Graduates, the year is 2025 and it's time. It's time to recognize that the information age is about and for people. Now, if you had known me 40 years ago, which would have been hard for many of you, but for those of you who are older, if you had known me 40 years ago, I was sitting in an audience like this. I was wearing my cap and gown in a long row with a lot of other people because I was completing my graduate degree. And back then, we knew that big changes were afoot with information technology, but our ability to peer into the future was limited. And 40 years ago, it would have been hard to imagine that today 5 billion people around the world have smartphones and access to the internet. And you all know how that has changed how we all live and work and thrive. And back then it would have been even harder to imagine the dark consequences that came with these advances. They come hand in hand, and you know what these dark consequences are. This crowd knows. You know about mental health issues for kids, about employers surveilling workers, about data brokers monetizing our attention and our privacy, cyber vulnerabilities, algorithms that perpetuate the bias of our imperfect past, and most destructive of all, the loss of trust. A shift happened as the number of devices and the number of bits exploded. In that process, information and information technology became more and more intimate with us. It used to be that a computer was this machine in a special room down the hall, air-conditioned room. But now we've all got dozens of these devices in our lives. There's almost always one right at our fingertips. I actually left mine in the green room, so I'm a little bit twitchy up here because it's so far away. And you all know that with those devices came email and texts and then social media, and that radically changed how we communicate and how we connect. And now, here we are in our modern time. Today, we are building machines, literally building machines out of human information. I'm talking, of course, about our artificial intelligence systems that we train on every syllable and every pixel, that we train on every decision and every action. Now, the world still talks about these changes as technology changes. But you know that as information becomes more and more intimate in our lives, that the information age is even more of a human and a social phenomenon than a technical one. As graduates of the Berkeley School of Information, you get this, and you will bring this perspective to every product that you develop, to every research question that you explore. You'll bring it to every business that you build and to every policy that you make. Graduates, as you do this work, you will show the world that the information age is about and for people. Graduates, the year is 2025, and it's time. It's time to meet our national crisis and to overcome it, to chart a better course ahead. You are graduating in the most critical moment for America in a century and a half. The divisions that are tearing our country apart have led to an administration that is turning its back on our allies around the world, that is denying the basic facts of climate change and medical science, that is turning away from an 8-decade commitment to public research and development that has improved the health and the prosperity and the security of every American. And at the core of it all are the most fundamental issues of the rule of law in our Constitution. And that means that today, the great American experiment is at risk. This is the experiment that tests the most inspiring hypothesis you could possibly imagine. It's the notion that we, the people, can achieve equality, liberty, and opportunity beyond the limitations of the past. It's the idea that we, the people, can build a better future for ourselves than a king or a dictator. This is a hypothesis that Americans have proven again and again as geopolitics changed, as the conditions of our lives changed, and as we evolved our definition of the people in We the People. And because of this great experiment, our country gave limitless opportunities to a little girl who came here from India with her parents at the age of 3. This is a kid who grew up in Lubbock, Texas. This country gave me the opportunity to study in our great universities, to create companies and products and jobs, to work in government and serve the people, to walk into the Oval Office and advise the President of the United States. And to live in the love of my family and my friends. Graduates, you are here today because this country gave you tremendous opportunities. The opportunities that you have seized were made possible by this great experiment. Now, America's fate depends on 340 million people across our nation, and each of us has a responsibility as a citizen, as a member of our society. Don't underestimate the power of your voice. Pay attention to what's happening in our country. Form your views. Take a stand. Graduates, as you do this work, you will help meet our national crisis. Graduates, the year is 2025, and it's time. It's time to achieve our great aspirations for the future, because none of the chaos that is swirling around us changes the fact that our aspirations are as great as they have ever been. Innovation is still core to the American identity, and despite all of our challenges, we live in a time of boundless possibilities. For our health, let's build a future in which no infectious disease outbreak ever again becomes a full-blown pandemic. Let's build a future in which virtually no parent ever has to hear that their child has cancer, and only the old-timers remember back to a time when diabetes was common. For our natural world, let's build a future in which we protect communities from fires and heat and floods, a future in which we decarbonize in time to avoid the worst ravages of climate change, in which we renew our relationship with nature and draw strength and solace from a world still filled with rich biodiversity. With AI, let's build a future in which we gain great efficiencies, and at the same time, we strengthen our long-held values. And beyond efficiency, let's build a future in which we use AI to develop treatments for impossible diseases, to provide a better weather forecast, to transform public services, and to close educational gaps for our kids. Every single one of these astonishing futures is feasible, and all of you glimpsed them when you did the work here at the iSchool. I saw your projects that were about improving health and building community and boosting sustainability and empowering people. And so you know that we can change the lives of people everywhere. Graduates, as you do this work, you will help achieve our greatest aspirations. The poet Seamus Heaney said, "The way we are living, timorous or bold, will have been our life." We don't get to live in precedented times, but we get to do the work that will bend the arc of the future, and that is worth every effort. So graduates, it's time. It's time to show the world that the information age is about and for people. It's time to overcome our national crisis, and it's time to achieve our great aspirations for the future. Over and over throughout history, people have risen to meet their moment and to create a better tomorrow. Now it's our time. Graduates, it's your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthi, for those inspiring and challenging words. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our student speakers, who were voted upon by their peers to be representative of their respective degree programs. First, please join me in welcoming Hemant Tadapalli, the student speaker for the Master of Information in Cybersecurity, or MICE program.
Thank you, Dean Meyer. Really appreciate the kind words. Good evening, distinguished guests, alumni, faculty, staff, and of course, the incredible class of 2025 graduates. It is such an honor to stand here today as a student speaker representing the Master of Information in Cybersecurity program. I want to give a heartfelt shout out to some amazing classmates who were also nominated to speak: Victoria Galloway, Aaron Webb, Ansu Sikka, Samir Hakim, and Alexander Juhan. Congratulations to each of you. It is such a reflection of the impact you made on this community. A few years ago, after graduating from Kettering University in Flint, Michigan, I questioned whether I had what it took to pursue a master's at UC Berkeley. Even with the work experience, I doubted myself. But I remembered something. If you are willing to work hard, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like. If you're young or old, rich or poor, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And that is exactly what each of us here has done. Many of us took big risks to be here. We made sacrifices. We leaned on the people around us for support. And as Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Personally, I wouldn't be here without the support of friends, professors, and most importantly, the authors of my life, my parents. They made sacrifices to come to this country in the 90s with 2 suitcases and 1 dream, and that was to live the American dream. Mom and Dad, wherever you are in the audience tonight, thank you. This is as much of your accomplishment as it is mine. Outside of cybersecurity, I serve on the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority in Troy, Michigan, where I help support sustainable growth and community revitalization. My experience in cybersecurity has really reinforced how essential it is to protect government, infrastructure, and public services in an increasingly digital world. Thank you, Mayor Ethan Baker, for encouraging me to step into public service. Your leadership and support have really inspired me to give back to our community. Our MICE journey has been an incredible ride. From grasping AES 256 and Diffie-Hellman to building million-dollar cybersecurity ideas in Capstone, we've grown professionally, academically, and personally along the way. If there's one lesson that stuck with me, it's this: trust is the foundation of cybersecurity. It takes years to build, seconds to break, and a lifetime to repair. And as cyber threats grow more relentless, protecting that trust has never been more important. Because cybersecurity attacks strike every 39 seconds. Ransomware can halt hospitals, phishing can topple finances, and breaches can shake governments. Cybersecurity isn't just about data. It's about protecting people, their privacy, and their future. A few years ago, a rural hospital in the Midwest was hit by ransomware. It wasn't just a data breach, it was a breach of trust. But one cybersecurity analyst working overnight helped guide recovery that night because their quick action saved lives. One person, one difference, that is a power we hold. Every firewall we configure, every vulnerability we patch, every risk we manage, it all serves one purpose: preserving trust in a world that needs it more than ever. That impact starts when we fully embrace our role and lead with a security-first mindset. True leadership in cybersecurity isn't just about defending assets, it's about embedding security into every layer of an organization and building a culture that drives sustainable change. When we lead this way, we're not just protecting systems, we're shaping the future of security itself. Because in this field, we don't give up when it's hard. We don't back down when the threats come in, we rise for the people who count on us to protect them. Leadership isn't about having all the answers, it's about being the one who steps forward and saying, I'll take responsibility, I've got this. Because the need is urgent. The world needs over 4 million cybersecurity professionals just to meet today's demand. We are not just taking jobs, we're taking on a responsibility that impacts our entire connected world. Our impact doesn't end here though. With our skills comes responsibility to empower, to lead, to mentor, and to inspire the next generation. Cybersecurity is not just technical, it's human, because together we'll secure what matters most. Looking ahead, many of you are already doing amazing things, like JD, pursuing his PhD, launching startups, defending our country, or stepping into leadership roles at companies. Remember, hard work overcomes doubt, sacrifice plants the seeds for success, and courage builds a legacy. As MIDs, MIMs, and PhD graduates, work together, not in silos, but to build a more secure and resilient future. Congratulations, class of 2025. The future is ours to shape and secure, and most importantly, this degree is just the beginning. Congratulations.
Next, we have the student speaker for the Master of Information Management Systems, or MIMS program, Miguel Angel Rodriguez Arias.
I did not pay them to say that, but thank you so much. Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking our attendees, including everyone who came from all parts of the world. Some of you came from halfway across the world to be here. Thank you so much for joining us today on this special occasion. And to my family who didn't know I was speaking today, surprise! That's my mom over there. All right, and to our graduates, when you walk across the stage, you might feel a rush of pride, and you should. You did the work, you showed up, you endured. But if you pause even for a second, you might realize something else. Behind every achievement, including this one, is a web of unseen support. Success is rarely a solo act. We got here because someone believed in us, took a chance, lent a hand, shared a word of encouragement, and so forth. Through quiet support and wavering faith, our friends, family, mentors, and loved ones helped carry us forward. We didn't do it alone, and we never really do. To the Lelands, thank you so much for taking a chance on my family and for believing in us. You were our guardian angels for so long, and we are eternally grateful. We wouldn't be where we are today without you and others like you who took a chance on us. To Tim, my stepdad, who frequently encouraged me to pursue grad school even when I stubbornly refused and said I was done with school. You taught me that luck is a combination of preparedness and opportunity, and you've constantly been there to help me prepare for whatever life throws at me. Thank you, and I love you. Thank you. To my mom, strongest woman I know. I can tell she's getting a little emotional right now, and so am I. What you've sacrificed to provide your kids with the opportunities for a better life, I'll always be thankful for. For believing in me, even when I didn't. Thank you. I love you, Mommy. To those who are no longer with us, my father, my aunts and uncles, family members, and loved ones in general, wherever you are, I hope I'm making you proud, and I miss you. To the rest of my family, my girlfriend, my friends, my peers, thank you for your unwavering support as well. I love you very much. But all right, enough about that. The kind of support we found in this program has helped us navigate ambiguity and complexity from day one, starting with trying to explain what the program actually is, which was hard. I still don't think my family knows exactly what I studied, and honestly, sometimes I wasn't sure either. In fact, over lunch today, my family asked me, "Say again what you did," because I'm not really sure. Well, I have a master's in information management and systems with a focus on AI product management and UX research. Yeah, getting through that sentence was tough, and I think I saw a few of you doze off in there. You want to hear it in Spanish? All right, here it is. Una maestría en el manejamiento de información y sistemas con un enfoque en la gestión de productos y la investigación de la experiencia de los usuarios. I should just stop there. Well, the program is tricky to explain. Was it tech, policy, AI, design, research? Yes, all of it. And that's kind of the point. We're graduating into a world that doesn't fit clean labels. Interdisciplinary thinking isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And it's what the world needs right now, even if the job market doesn't seem to be reflecting it at the moment. Speaking of jobs, while we were doing all this deep interdisciplinary thinking, we were also job hunting. And as we all know, that's been pretty tough. At times, it felt like a full-time job just trying to find a full-time job. But we didn't do that alone either, even in those moments. We sent each other job leads, we tore apart and rebuilt resumes, and we consoled each other when things didn't go our way. That is the web, unseen, but powerful. In our MIMS program alone, I can't tell you how many times I saw students, faculty, and staff actively contributing to community building. To my fellow students who organized social gatherings, cultural celebrations, and more, to our faculty who took a genuine interest in us and taught us so much, and many more who impacted us in meaningful ways, thank you all so, so much. So to our parents, siblings, friends, partners, professors, and supporters sitting out there, today, we see you. And to those who are no longer with us, we feel you. You are all an instrumental part of our experience here and of our web. As I believe it was Isaac Newton who once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." So thank you to all of you for being our giants. That one hit. Thank you. All right, and to wrap it up, because I know I'm a little over time here, to the graduating class of 2025, congratulations. Thank you for making this high school experience as meaningful as it was. Cheers.
Thank you, Miguel. Now, please join me in welcoming the student speaker for the Master of Information and Data Science, Juliana Gomez Consuegra.
Dear fellow graduates, faculty, friends, family, and distinguished speaker, my name is Juliana Gomez Consuegra, and I am honored to represent the MIDS cohort as student speaker. While I stand alone on the stage, I hold each one of you here with me. So much so that I briefly contemplated a friend's suggestion to rent a single rope for 5 people so we could stand one on top of the other with me as the head. But you saw me carrying that sigil. My limited dexterity would not have allowed me to finish my speech before collapsing. As student speaker, I want to thank the graduating class's families and friends for their support, encouragement, and patience throughout the program. In my case, my wonderful husband was my driving force, raising my confidence when I was filled with doubt, while my family and friends showed incredible understanding and kindness, willingly rearranging their own plans just so I wouldn't have to miss a single class commitment. Being part of the iSchool has been one of the greatest experiences of my life, not only academically, but also emotionally. Pursuing a graduate degree while holding a full-time job and having a family can be challenging, but a shared struggle makes it so much easier. and MIDS created that safe space. It showed up in the shape of shared homework time across different time zones, in office hours on a Saturday morning, or in study groups and paper reading sessions that helped us grow intellectually and as a community. Our instructors were a key asset in this journey. We learned about the statistics of coffee roasting from Alex, about generating neat, clean, and reusable code from Cornelia, about pausing to give others room for sharing their thoughts from Mike, and about 3 different ways to read a paper from Mark. Though I have not named all of you, you were all key players in our journey, so thank you. One of the papers we read in class, Attention is All You Need, is also the message I want to leave with you today. This paper marked a pivotal moment for applications like ChatGPT and other large language models. I'll spare you the details, but I just want to highlight one aspect. For humans, as for these models, context is important. And what you paid attention to in the past can determine your future. To address our current context, we need to use slow thinking, using passion as a tool for change, and envision this context as an opportunity to do good instead of seeing it as a barrier. In my case, my background in biology and poison frogs primed me to want to work on a capstone project that would increase knowledge about these organisms to hopefully protect them from biodiversity loss and climate change. And so, I pitched this wild idea to my classmates. Why not design a Shazam for frogs? Luckily for me, they joined me on this wild ride, which we turned into a startup shortly after capstone. My fellow graduates, I sadly understand that your attention may not lie in frogs, but it does lie in very interesting topics, as the most common projects were related to healthcare, environmental sustainability, finance, education, and bias and ethics. I know this because I ran a sentiment analysis of the capstone projects of the graduating cohort, and I discovered that the overall sentiment is strongly positive. The project descriptions focused on empowerment, innovation, and social benefit. That's wonderful. The world needs this enthusiasm and constructive ambition, maybe now more than ever. To generate positive change in the world, we have to focus our attention on creating fair, energy-efficient, and unbiased systems. I was lucky enough to have taken part in 2 amazing groups during my time at MIDS: the Leadership Development Program for Gender Equity and the DIBJ Working Group. And what I learned there is that change is possible. As humans with a reptilian brain, we have a strong pull to react instinctively. But slowing down, breathing, and focusing our attention on what we want will help us to become positive leaders in our field of choice. The good news is that you don't have to create this change by yourself. Even though we're graduating today, we're lucky enough to belong to a tight-knit global community. To close, I leave you with a quote from Daniel Kahneman's seminal book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Intelligence is not only the ability to reason, it is also the ability to find relevant material in memory and to deploy attention when needed. Congratulations, everyone. Go Bears!
Thank you, Juliana. Finally, please welcome the student speaker for the PhD in Information, Suraj R. Nair.
Good evening. Dr. Prabhakar, Dean Meyer, and the faculty, dear family and friends who've come from far and wide, and my fellow students. It is such an honor to be here with you today. Many, many congratulations to all the graduates. It feels really good to be done, or close to being done. This year, the School of Information is awarding 7 PhD degrees, the largest class in a long time. So please join me in giving a huge round of applause to my fellow PhD students. I've thought a lot about a suitable description for this journey of completing a PhD. I've heard many compare it to the long, slow grind of a marathon or an ultra marathon. In my case, it has felt a lot more chaotic, like I'm running around in circles, unsure of which way is forward. More recently, a friend of mine compared it to the meme of this puppy sitting at the table with a mug of coffee while everything is on fire around it. I'll admit, this has felt painfully accurate, especially in the last few months. In fact, I'm sure some of us have had several pots of coffee and perhaps something even stronger as we've tried to keep it together. Amidst all this chaos, the iSchool community has been wonderfully supportive. We owe a deep debt of gratitude to our committee members and the faculty and the staff. My advisor, Josh, has given me feedback on crazy ideas. He's read my terrible drafts, some of which should really never see the light of day. And he sat through my rambling presentations. He's also had to console me each week when my soccer team, Manchester United, has inevitably lost a game. I really would not be here without his patience, guidance, and support. Throughout this time, my lab mates and fellow PhD students have been a pillar of strength. We have weathered a pandemic together and possibly multiple recessions, depending on who you ask. No one really seems to be sure. Along the way, we've spun up research projects, traveled the world together, and celebrated each other's successes. We've been there for each other through good times and bad, and I really think we've grown so much, both as people and researchers during our time here. I will miss the warmth of our little community, and it's going to be really hard to work on research without all of you around. Behind the scenes, the iSchool staff have gone above and beyond to take care of us. There's really never going to be enough, I can say, to express my appreciation for them. Inessa has been amazing, keeping us afloat and helping us navigate the maze that is Berkeley bureaucracy. I should also give a shout out to the IT team, whom I've troubled to no end with my requests and whose servers have crashed several times. Apologies. And finally, to my parents, who've sacrificed so much, and to my family and friends. You've all learned to nod politely through my late-night practice talks, and you've listened to my long rants about why my pretty random ideas are important. Thank you for encouraging me to start this wild journey, and thank you for the unwavering belief that I could finish it. Today's celebration truly belongs to you. A few years ago, as I was applying to grad school, I was quite confused about what a School of Information is. Let's be honest, it is pretty ambiguous. Even after a PhD in information science, it turns out that it's very hard to explain to my family what we all actually do here. Believe me, I've been trying this past week. In my journey as a student here, I have learned to embrace this ambiguity that comes with being interdisciplinary, and I've become a lot more comfortable with it. I'd argue that it is our biggest strength as a school. It enables computer scientists, sociologists, lawyers, and economists to share the same canvas and to work on some of the most pressing challenges facing our society together. Like any large family, we rarely agree with each other, and we probably disagree a lot. But in the process, we push each other to appreciate different perspectives, and we challenge each other to be critical and cautious in our work. For me, it has been incredibly inspiring to be a part of this community, and the privilege of a lifetime to call South Hall home. I'm definitely a bit sad to be moving on. So, to all the graduates, congratulations once again, and all the very best. In true Berkeley spirit, I am sure that we will shine a light wherever we go. I'm really excited to see what we all end up doing in our respective careers. Thank you.
So let's have another round of applause for all of our student speakers this evening. Now, it's my pleasure to announce all of the award winners across our programs. We'll announce the name of each award winner at this time. The winner may stand where they're seated to be recognized and remain standing until I finish announcing all the winners for each program. Don't come up on the stage quite yet. I will pause between each program to allow applause for the winners of that program. So first, starting with the Mikes Awards winners. So the Mikes Excellence in Teaching Award winner is Kim Jones. For Spring 2025, the Lily L. Chang Mike's Capstone Award went to Trust QR, a team of Roy Bloom, Mina Fahim, Samir Hakim, John David Keeling III, Jeremy Sloan, and Shanshan Song. For fall 2024, the Mike's Capstone Award went to Realize.ai by Sinan Iqbal, John Olmos, Basilis Savaras, and Jonathan Weiss. And for summer 2024, the Mike's Capstone Award went to Cosmos Global Access Proxy by Clarence Capillo, Garrett Clark, Ruslan Yakupov, Thomas Iannone, and Aries Prabawa. So please applaud all of our Mike's Award winners. Now on to the MIMS Award winners. The MIMS Excellence in Teaching Award winner is Professor Hani Farid. And the MIMS Outstanding Teaching Assistant is Aishwarya Sriram. And the MIMS Spirit Award goes to Miguel Angel Rodriguez Arias. And then the James R. Chen's Awards for Outstanding MIMS Final Projects, and they haven't heard this yet, so this is news to them. These were just awarded the other day. Go to two projects. One, Flood Navigator by Francis Lewis Brittingham, Cameron Kurtz, Leslie Nee Noye, and Maya Shuker. And Brain Type by Aaron Thong Uraden, Kyle Yasin Walker, Kimberly Felicitas Soriano, Amkar Hanamasagar, and Prajaka Pandit. So congratulations to all the MIMS Awards winners. Finally, our MIDS Awards winners. The MIDS Excellence in Teaching Award is Dr. Mark Labovitz. The fifth year MIDS Excellence in Teaching Award is Professor Paul Laskowski. The MIDS Outstanding Teaching Assistant is Jiayi Rachel Gao. And for spring 2025, the Hal Arvarian MIDS Capstone Award went to SafeWalk by Helen Hu, Chris Chung-Hee Lee, Kung Zhou, and Ula Zhu. For fall 2024, the MIDS Capstone Award went to Quill Query by Maureen Fromuth, Mahmoud Ghaneman, Brendan Lundquist, Amber Zhang, and Ichin Zhou. And the fifth year MIDS Capstone Award went to Hydroscale by Marlon Fu, Austin Ho, Nora Isabel Pavaja, Suresh Prashad, and Derek Yao. And for summer 2024, the MIDS Capstone Award went to EduCreate by Yuri Kanakin, Ethan Moody, Eugene Un, and Shin Song. Please applaud all of our MIDS Awards winners. So congratulations again to everyone for all those wonderful projects and other things that won awards. When the ceremony ends, we ask that the award recipients come up on stage to receive their award and to take a photo at that time. I'll remind you again at the end in case you forget. So now the moment we've been waiting for, the actual conferral of degrees. Professor Coy Cheshire will begin with our PhD graduates.
All right, as the head graduate advisor for our PhD program, it is my honor and privilege to announce this year's graduating class from the School of Information PhD program. Our PhD students engage in multi-year dissertation projects with a focus on interdisciplinary approaches to information problems. The long road, of course, to a PhD student that a PhD student takes in pursuit of the degree is not entirely a solitary process. They work very closely with their dissertation advisors and other faculty over many, many years, with the support of their family, fellow graduate students, our amazing staff, and of course, their friends. Today, we are proud to have 6 students up here on stage with us who have earned their PhD in information science. I'm going to now read the names of each of our PhD graduates, along with their dissertation title and the name of the advisor who will hood them here on stage. First, Andrew Chong. Andrew's dissertation is titled Perceptions of Fairness in Technology-Mediated Marketplaces, and I am honored as his advisor to be hooding him tonight. Lisa Ann Gack. Her dissertation titled Designing for Action, Centering Youth in Participatory Technology Design, and she will be hooded by Professor Nilofar Salehi. Next, Zoe Khan. Zoe's dissertation entitled Toward Global Responsible Tech, Public Participation, Expertise, and Human Values in Rural Togo, hooded by Professor Deirdre Mulligan. Emma Lurie. Emma's dissertation titled Searching for Accountability, Contested Harms, Algorithmic Audits, and the Legal Governance of Socio-Technical Systems, hooded by Professor Deirdre Mulligan. Suraj R. Nair. His dissertation is titled Data-Driven Development, Essays on Migration and Digital Finance, hooded by Professor John Schwang. And last but not least, Cedric DeLon Whitney. Cedric's dissertation is titled From Data to Evaluation, Investigating the Limits of Individual Control Model in AI Governance, hooded by Professor Deirdre Mulligan. Congrats again to all of our PhDs. And now I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Christina Arias, who will begin conferral of the master's degree from the Mikes program.
Good evening. It is my great honor to introduce the graduates of the Masters of Information in Cybersecurity. Earning a master's degree is never easy, but doing it while managing careers, raising a family, and staying committed through long nights and weekends is a remarkable achievement. Mike's graduates, your grit, sacrifice, and perseverance has brought you to this moment. And your families and loved ones, thank you for your support and patience. Cybersecurity, as was mentioned before, is not just a technical field. It is the cornerstone of modern life. It protects our hospitals, our elections, our financial systems, our very way of living. As cyber threats grow in scale and complexity, the world needs bold, ethical leaders like you to safeguard our future. In a world increasingly shaped by digital systems and data, your work will shape trust. You are not just defending networks. You are safeguarding people, their privacy, their rights. Their safety depends on what you build, what you protect, and what you choose to stand for. The world needs bold and ethical leaders like you. And today, you step forward to answer that call. You give us hope and you give us security. You are the guardians of trust, the stewards of digital resilience. And today, you remind us that our future is in capable hands. Congratulations, Mike's graduates. The future is safe because of you.
Hemant Thadapalli. Yash Singh. Samir Hakim. Aaron Leonard Webb. George Zung. Sanan Iqbal. Ryan Lee Beasley. Syed Hadar Ali. Eric William Stroud. Jonathan Esau Lopez. Brandon Dang. Brian Angelis. Mina Fahim. John David Keeling III. Kayla Tindilia. Narayanan D. Padi. George Ziwartan. Alexander Juhan. Jonathan Ray Wynn. Marcus Ricardo Cervantes. Coleman Davis. Ansub Sika. Dustin Lee Mobley. Tyler Jean Vale. Amiya Prasad. Neelam Rani. Eswari Meganathan. Shan Shan Song. Jeremy Sloan. Tanmayi Nandan. Alejandra del Valle. Karthik Sai Sundaram. Yoon Shi Tsai. Solomon Abraham Asfaha. Michael Cieslak. David Ian Clark. Shashank Koturi. Lawrence T. Wagner III. Victoria and Niece Galloway. Naima Ajani Robert. Matthew Queer. Guy Milliman. Sophie Menashi.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Awesome. Great. As head graduate advisor for the MIMS program, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our graduates from the MIMS program. The Master of Information Management and Systems, MIMS, is our 2-year full-time in-person professional degree. Our students come from all over the world to study here on the Berkeley campus. They come with a broad range of academic and work experiences. But here at the iSchool, they all undertake a systematic study of the technical, design, social, and policy dimensions of information systems. They take classes from UX design to machine learning, from technology policy to product management. They undertake internships at tech companies and nonprofits. They complete a final project, which we celebrated at the showcase event this past Thursday. Now, they are ready to take all that they have learned in these past 2 years to go out and change the world. Congratulations, MIMS Class of 2025.
Silvana Moiseanu. Ayushi Rajpat. Manish Kumar. Priyal Mehta. Hayford Atom. Venkatesh Ravi. Akshay Nayak. Ishwarya Shriram. Kritika Mishra. Akshat Gupta. Ashutosh Tiwari. Gaurav Sharan Srivastava. Aman Shivkumar Daga. Anna Luisa Lanzino. Lei Zhang. Yibing Ying. Kai-Ting Chang. Casey Ho. Cynthia Chen. Salia Asanova. Aman Merotra. Christopher Pirani. Amer Khaled Mrazig. Aaron Thongyu Rodden. Fred Nam. Katsuya Masaki. Ankur Garg. TJ Joe Hall. Omkar Hanam Sagar. Kel Yasin Walker. Cameron Kurtz. Rachel Fung. Ria Anthony. Sharon Hugh. Anita Gore. Karen Way. Amara Williams. Kimberly Felicitas Soriano. Yvette Corina Vargas. Jeff Chang. Elsie Nanbam David. Audrey Oluwakemi Folaronmi. Linda Mutesi. Naima Amran. Hannah Ellis. Frances Louise Brittingham. Janelle Lynn. Diana Yunshin Chen. Jolie Ying. Maya Shukair. Leslie Ni Noi Noye. Hareem Lee. Prajakta Pandit. Lisa Kasamba. Miguel Angel Rodriguez Arias.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Hughes, and as the head graduate advisor for the Masters of Information and Data Science, I'm proud to present the graduates from this year. You can begin to file forward. The MIDS degree is a 2 or 3 or sometimes 4-year degree where students are working full-time, studying the development of and the deployment of data science models in the modern world. I want to take a moment to recognize not only the community who have supported you, your family members, your kids, people who've put dishes away when you've forgotten, people who have listened to you complain about Spark clusters or buckets that are broken as though they cared. But also to think about the community of graduates who've come before you, a community that you join right now. We need you to continue to invest back into our community. I want to take a moment as well to recognize a retiring faculty member who started the program, who's going to be deathly embarrassed by this. This is my 10th year here at the school, and this is the 10th graduating class of MIDS students. Anna Saxenian and the faculty started the program 12 years ago, and the first graduating class completed in 2015. Thank you to the dean and to the faculty for creating the program. To the graduates, congratulations on completing your degree. We look forward to seeing you around the hallways, and we hope that you continue to invest here in our school, in our university, and in our world. Thank you.
Darren Michael Benamelis. Nicholas Gasser. Sam Sing Yan Meng. Syed Jilani. Michael Eng Ho Kor. Lily Malienti. Annalise Fryer. Pascual Daniel George Ely. Hadi Hafezi. Ula Ju. Nayan Ganguly. Daniel Kessler Solomon. Erika Nakabayashi. Thomas Yu Chi Lai. Edward K. Shin. Thomas Rand Dolan. Chris Jung-hee Lee. J-Paul Singh Man. Marco Zanchetta. Abbas Siddiqui. David Solo. Christopher DeMeo. Ke Jiang. Tamana Nahime. Reese John Carlton. Derek Chan So. Jeremy Ramirez. Gina Marie Geiselman. David Ilitsky. Scott David Bellarmino. Nicole Liu. Helen Hu. Hardeep Sangha. Kotaro Hama. Tiana Ildefonso. Sarab Milin Patarkine. Abdulaziz M. Makabangon. Raymond Hung. Isaac Madera. Ashray Puri. Sriram Kumar Ravinothala. Kirti Prakash. Monica Jacqueline Napoles Serrano. Nicholas Kyle Luong. Joanna Yang. Jacob Lee Hyman Jones. Alexandra Estegoy Daniels. Luis Mario Cartagena Lopez. Akanksha Chattopadhyay. Maximilian Leonard Jacob. Brian Williams. David Edward Lee. Mark Emil Clayman. Nigel Lewis. Abdul Rahman Al Fozan. Summer Jane McGrogan. Shruti Jain. Adelina Kim. Danny Nguyen. Jazz Mi Lin Din. Catherine Painter. Rini Majumdar Gupta. Kerrigan Dawn Hudgens. William Lay. Rebecca Ann Bargiacci. Jennifer Tejeda. Jeffrey Victor Wilson. Daisuke Nakada. David Aaron Campos. Christina Nichelle Perez. Michelle Dominique Davies. Andrew Philip Abrahamian. Jesus Emanuel Mejia Trejo. Sabrina Nasser Ahmed. Carrie Lee. Kamaljet Gatra. Ibrahim Sharif. Aurora Olaya. Jenna Rose Farrick. Catherine Sarah Kostelt. Amy Xiaozhang. Jasmine Lau. Kim Sian Pen. Billy Fong. Darren Lowe. Tamar Brand Perez. Jacqueline Yuet Walam. Man Unas Ngai. Jian Wu. Sarana Milswamy. Alex Kenneth Chen. Benjamin Lee. Andre Rincon. Mohammed El Ghitani. Eduardo Badillo Alvarez. Richard Thomas Pang. Matthew Doherty Kirk. Manwei Khan. Shah Irene Na. Annie DeForge. William Teng. Natsanet Segai Demos. Austin Lowitz. Mia Kobayashi. Grossman Jonah. Suhas Prasad. Marlon Fu. Sean Chi Xuan Wei. Parker Braylow. Naveen Sukumar. Ashok Sundararaman. Indu Abhilash. Daniel Christopher Bostwick. Olivia Ray McCauley. Adwait Upendra Marathe. Gilberto Perez Alonso. Joshua Prue. Daphne Lynn. Adeline Vivian Chin. Maria Lee. Wilford Jetty Bradford II. Vanelsa Acha. Teresa Rachel Sumarda. Brian K. Lynn. Sanarak Natniti Karat. Pranav Veswanathan. Annie Miller. Hannah Sarah Abraham. Ving Quoc Bui. Brendan Justin Ho. James H. Wong. Yong Lim. Carla Annabelle Prieto Chavez. Hamsini Sankaran. Deepika Kumar. Kevin Cook. David Allen Skaparov. Ramakrishna Ramadurgam. Timothy Majidzadeh. Chien Hong Ye. Michael Golas. Chichen Liu. Zachariah Ale. Nathan Choi. Simone Ong. Jay June. Sean Lee. Matthew Zhang. Eric Yining Shen. Victor Hutton Brew. Nathaniel James Browning. Adedeji Fajana. Shuo Wang. Kevin Michael Stallone. Pujeng Ray Tsao. Jiai Rachel Gao. Angela Ann Ingram. Daniel Dongyan Kim. Rex Gao. Andre Jejena. Aaron Smith. Karina Kowarsh. Averine Sanduku. Tyler J. Gustani. Elias Tavares Robles. James McLean. Rodrigo Christopher Cochran. Gray Lee Selby. Drew Pispanen. Snehal Desai. Michael Kalish. Kusamdeep Brar. Elaine Keung. Daniel Florencio. Wu Jae Chung. Chloe Wynn. Lit Pansiri. Dongwan. Jordan Fan. De Xin Chen. Benjamin Michaels. Jenna Rose Sparks. Eric Sombrilo. Bailey Keel. Alyssa Nicholas. River Way. Yue Fang Shui. Elijah Mercer. Natacha Maheshe. Mick Dreeling. Maxence Frenette. Amia Ranjan. Kazi Annika Ferouz. Michael Jaweed. Bao Pham. Zane Dawson Brown. Tanmay Mahapatra. Lee Perkins. Sayed Amir Ibrahim Moazami. Melissa Hartwick. Reed Evans. Victoria Hollingshead. Maral Bassett. Zhu Jingshu. Landon Eureka. Jacob Brinkerhoff. Vincent Chu. Brandon Marion. Alexandra Christina Barker. Chad David Hasso. Samuel Bartley Greenberg. Nadia Polovina. Haitham Aref Athras. Farouk Gandour. Mahmoud Ghanem. Elio Kari. Michael Botros. Anna Melody Massis. Mehmet Inonu. Abhishek Shetty. Kemalchan Jimerson. Kang Wang. William Lee. Bhaskar Jyoti Bora. Karen Jasmine Orozco. Maggie Corey. Kevin Nak Huang. Roshni Tainekar. Xingyun Rong. Tim Tung. Amina Alavi. Leo Lei. Devin Sui. Ameda Sheikh. Chu Chi Tony Lin. Jason Liangzi Dong. Kara Marlena Christensen. Mia Durst. Vijay Kumar Kritivasan. Sydney Lister. Alice Jessica Drozd. Fred Hayes III. Mana Vahid. Kenneth Lamb. Ishika Prasher. Derek Yao. Jun Hyung Park. Adithi Suresh. Atmika Sarukai. Annie Tianki Pong. Michelle Siyan Chung. Jacqueline Wong. Rita Tu. Subhasri Pothuraju. Svein Gabriel Gonzalez. Chi Ling Phoebe Yue. Duty Ramadas. Juliana Gómez Consuegra.
So I got to shake a lot of hands. That was a lot of fun. A lot of happy people. So congratulations once again to all of our graduates. Before we end, I want to remind and invite all of our award winners back up on stage for photos after we close and the platform party has left the stage. As we bring this ceremony to a close, I want to extend sincere thanks to the families, friends, and loved ones who've joined us from near and far to celebrate this milestone. Your support means the world to our graduates and to the iSchool. Graduates, I invite you to stand as comfortable, turn to the audience, and give them a round of applause for the support they have given you leading up to your success today. Graduates, please stay standing and face to the front. To you, our graduates, you're stepping into a world that urgently needs your curiosity, your insight, and the drive to make a difference. I know you'll meet the call with creativity, integrity, and impact. Please stay connected with each other and with the iSchool. You'll always be part of the iSchool community, and we can't wait to see what you'll do next. Everyone, please join me in giving one huge final round of applause to all of today's graduates. Fiat Lux and go Bears!